If a hospital's in need of more PPE, there's no reason that they can't buy it. It's a business owner's call if they choose to enforce mask use to stay compliant. You know, a lot of deaths are vitamin deficiency related, so they probably had a poor diet. It's a lot like the flu, but the media's conspiring to keep that quiet. You won't catch me on the CDC site catching up on guidelines. I'll be choosing faith over science. I'll be at the beach if you need me, but 6 sharp gotta get home from my 2 grand Zoom call live with the Bidens. At the end they ask the middle class, leave the room a moment while they lay bare the next phase of unrestrained police violence. And silent. They say no man is an island. When you're drowning all alone, then it clicks that you either were one of us castaways crafting a signal or one of the many oblivious pilots. And we could burn every palm we can find, but they won't ever open their eyes, cause they fly over right around 5 when the sun fights right through your eyelids. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. So it's just a long, slow trail of goodbye left behind as the orange turns violet. You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your head. Why play civil when you won't listen to 100,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. So why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen? Won't make you listen. Make you listen. Make you listen. Make you listen. Born in the shadows of graves, dug for the victims of war or the bodies of negligent poverty, labeled as either essential or brave. We had to watch them lay old Lady Liberty down on the lathe, shave all her salient features away. 'Cause we like our women condemned, we like our women contained, we like our platitudes flaccid and vague, and we like to deify people objectively late for the Hague. We like our senators boneless, because we've only elected the spineless, who all lack backbone and possibly teeth, because they don't bite back and they don't speak up. They resign like sheep into silence. I don't have much hope when the meek all inherit the planet, because they fumbled the House and the Senate and handed the reins to the people they spent 4 years all proclaiming as baseless, corrupted upholders of bigotry, leeching our taxes like bandits. When all of our leaders are wearing that standard. All of them work for the global purveyor of violence, pollution, genocide, bias, fascism, child starvation through sanction, cultural cleansing, and propaganda. Black Mariah, White Miranda, Streets Crescendo, Fascist Answer. Any donation you give them is feeding the cancer. Bloating their egos so they can come dangle the carrot, promise you 2 grand and hold it for ransom. Like we should fall all over ourselves when the squad tweets. We should lick the squad's boots, kiss the squad's feet. They ask, what would the money we promised you months ago actually mean? What would a one-time check to pay part of your rent and allow you to eat for a week mean to you and your family of 3? Tell us you need it. Tell us you want it so bad. We can't hear you. Tell us how thankful you are for the squad, 'cause we're all that you have. Tell us how grateful you are that we watered a bill down to please the Republicans, knowing their votes weren't needed to see that it passed. That's called unity.
When your overlords can get along peacefully and agree on the most cost-effective way to starve American families to death, discreetly kill off the disabled, and slaughter people of color with impunity in broad daylight, that is what they mean by unity. That's what they want us to be fucking thankful for.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? Now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. Why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? Man, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me. I will pick my targets and assassinate them lyrically. I will bring a mountain to the town square, hook them to the pillory and leave them there. Hillary, I'll see you there. Hillary, I'll see you there.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? Now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. Why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen?
Welcome to the fantasy of rhetoric. Welcome to the last of the free speech while we can get it. And I promise you can get it. All you corporate Democrats, second wave Confederates, GOP illusionists, and neo-Nazi bureaucrats. And Stephen fucking Miller, I will see you in the aftermath. When all the laws are dust, there's just moral justice after that. And I will hunt you through the wasteland if it comes to that. So I can rub you in the dirt like a cheap human Brillo pad. I can sleep fine when our beds are burning, Stephen, but I'll turn around and run into the blaze to get my pillow back. As long as I can lay my head down, I can live with that. I can deal with a little ash. I can feel like a little of the old me burn with the bad and the rest of my past. The old world where we all lived and we can't get back. The old world where you didn't give and you'd still get back. Where you could rake in 12 billion and give none back. Those days are behind us, the virus will kill all that. Your wealth is behind us and kindness is meant for the past. Our leaders would bind us and starve us and call it a fast. A sacrament meant for their God that they garnish in cash. And they feed it the poor by the hundreds, that's all that it asks. Its hunger is legion and people in need are all it will have. So our only chance is to starve it and hope that it turns on them.
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. La da 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 la da da da.
Last stand,
and I came to deliver. Been called a Clinton operative, a Russian, and a grifter. By libs, a washing student debt, proud to be an intern, sucking up to pigs who get a tax cut in the midterms. You cut the ties but never heal the wrist burns. Capitalist shackles wrap and penetrate like ringworms.
Thing. Of course, I didn't fix that one thing.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. There's 3 of us today. Who are these people?
Yer.
What's up, Steve? We've got Steve Poikonen from Slow News Day here. We've got Jesse up there, and of course, I'm Indy down here. Everybody knows that. And we're here. It's
Who are
American
these
tradition.
people now featuring 50% more people?
33% more people, as it turns out.
That's right. Oh, we don't do so great with the math sometimes.
Castro's making some pretty furious biscuits.
Math, man.
The bakery is open. Biscuits are being made. Shit is popping off over here in the basement already. So,
Hell yeah.
yep.
Okay.
We got a show. We got a show now.
Now it's a show. Now it's a party. Cats are farting. All right. So yes, this is the Slow News Day AM Wake Up Variety Hour mashup combination compilation with INN. I was gonna say it's your debut on INN, but it's not actually. You did a Reefer After Dark a long time ago when we first started our
It was a couple
network.
years, yeah.
It's been a while,
Yeah,
but welcome
been a
back.
couple
Welcome back for sure. And we're here to talk a little bit about Third Eye Carnival. So I wanted to kind of hand you the mic and talk a little bit about that. Before that, I even wanted to show for the people that don't know kind of who you are and what you do. Steve is an Indie Media Award honoree. I'll flower him a little bit. 2024 for live streaming podcasting. He's been around a long time doing this. I've known him from originally Slow News Day show, which he did with Glory Jones and a couple other floating hosts, but mostly Glory on Sundays. I was mostly introduced to Whitney Webb between Graham Elwood and on that show, but that's when I heard the real shit from Whitney. And then he started AM Wake Up with Pasta about 2 years ago, almost 2 years now. And I actually flew out to Vegas once, and we all hung out and smoked blunts together. And these are all the places you can find them. This is at the Indie Media Awards Substack website. So that's indiemediaawards.substack.com. And there's a whole page dedicated to Steve and AM Wake Up and all those links and everywhere you can find them, along with the awesome illustration by Zago Brothers.
Heck yeah, man.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I am a frequent viewer of Slow News Day, of AM Wake Up. I was in chat this morning, and we actually co-stream AM Wake Up to our Elon WeChat Twitter X account. And that's great to at least give you the visibility, send some people over, get a couple hundred people over there bringing stuff over to chat. And so Jesse, man, it's been a couple weeks. What's up with you, bro?
Right? Oh, not much. I just got to say real quick while we're giving Steve his flowers. I definitely he was a big part in kind of expediting my descent into radicalization. Like when I would say I still consider myself a progressive, if you asked me, in 2020, and I first started watching some of Steve's content, there would be times he'd be on a topic and I'd be like, oh, I don't know about all that. And then a couple months later, it would come true or he'd be proven right. And consistently, I would watch what I thought were some of the more far-fetched ideas consistently happening, and I was like, okay, no, this is the trailer for whatever is happening next year, and very much so, like that still holds true, man. If you really want to know not just what you're in for right now, but what you're in for, down the pipeline, you've always done such a great job of not just focusing on that, but focusing on that in spite of all the clickbaity bullshit that is swarming around you. And that's really commendable. Like,
thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, we joke, but it's true. Like, if you want your news 6 months to 2 years early,
yep,
pull up
for
to
real.
the show, and,
yeah,
and we'll give it to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Fred Edward. He's going to Third Eye Carnival, Nashville. There we go. Boom. We got Fred Edward in
Pasta's going to
attending.
go pick him up and drive him down. Pasta's making Fred Edward his kitchen bitch. I was on the phone with Pasta a couple of times today. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
awesome. Greg, that's all right. Greg can call us gay for a minute. Look. This guy gets so much shit from so many people, I have to say, and in a lot of cases, much deserved. But you got to give the guy some credit sometimes, once in a while. But yeah, I mean, we want to talk about Third Eye, the whole idea behind it, and the concept that it started about 2 years ago. I know I've heard you tell the story like 50 times on the show, but I figured we'll let you tell it here on American Tradition for the people who hadn't heard it, and then. Okay. Then we'll play some tunes.
Okay. Well, there's no Third Eye Carnival at all without Teace Snyder, who is the preeminent philosopher of our time. He is hands down the smartest dude I've ever met in my entire life. And 3 years ago, he was like, hey, I have an idea for your show, and my idea is that you put me on your show. Right? I'm like, okay, that sounds good. I love you. It's cool. We can do this. And his whole original concept was that, we just want people to throw like a gathering or a dinner, or, just get a handful of people over and basically watch the videos that he's curated on conspiracysynergy.com. It's a scientifically and psychologically calibrated show that helps normies get into reality. He has done, both of his parents are psychologists. He's done painstaking research on how to emotionally calibrate something in order to like slow walk people into the real world. So if you go to conspiracysynergy.com, you'll find all of this stuff. And then it became very, very evident that if we didn't do something ourselves, nobody else was going to. So in 2023, we kind of hastily threw together the very first Third Eye Carnival. Charlie Robinson from Macroaggressions came out. Lindsay Sharman from Rogueways Day Zero came out. And they basically ran the show. Teace and I remoted in. Last year, I got to go there in person. We had 12 bands over the course of 2 days, all like Colorado local bands. Some of them even Pueblo local bands at one of the coolest venues I've ever been at in my entire life. It's called the Blowback Gallery. It's owned and ran by a gentleman named Jeff Medine, and Jeff is like an old school punk rock guy who happens to have a 7,000 square foot warehouse that he turned into an art gallery, and it is phenomenal. Oh my God, it's amazing. It really is. It's so freaking cool. So we did that, but the idea with the carnival is that we want people to gather in real life, to realize that they're not alone, that there's a lot of other people around them that think the way that they do, that they can have an opportunity to network, build community, and, share space with each other in a way that is totally centered around fun. I don't know about you guys, but I hate conferences.
Well,
they
I
they
actually
make my
like
pussy
conferences, but
dry
I'm
up.
I'm a business guy, so that's my. But I'm fine with you hating it. I get why.
Yeah, no, I can't do it, dude. And it's not that you can't glean some good information. It's not that you can't meet a couple of cool people or anything like that. But the whole format of it,
Yep,
it just
it's stuffy.
shoot me in the fucking face. And
That's right,
so I
Lily.
thought,
Free
okay,
swag.
there's yeah,
That's what we get at conferences. Free
sure.
swag. I got a drawer full of T-shirts thanks to conferences.
How often do you wear them?
Every day, honestly. I'm a cheap motherfucker, so that's all I wear, my conference T-shirts.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah,
You know what I gotta say, from the brief bit of time I spent with Indy, I do remember seeing at least one like team building exercise 2004 kind of a T-shirt.
No, it's all like
All right.
company.
That totally tracks.
It's all company
Absolutely.
logo shit. I'm literally wearing one right now. It says the future is here, and it's from a website company.
Okay. The only
He's the
T-shirts
exception.
that I own are from my merch store.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other thing I wear is stuff from my merch store. That's right.
amazing.
I wear Indie Media Today stuff. I have a Jesse shirt. I walk around with a big picture of that fucker on my chest. It's really funny. Very funny.
Heck yeah. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
that's amazing.
But no,
But yeah, you did the blowback gallery.
Teace and I were trying to figure out how the fuck we could actually get people in the same place at the same time. We were like, I guess we got to do it ourselves. So we hit on lead by example. And then I was like, well, dude, I don't want to do a conference thing. I hate them. I'm good at many things, but I'm really good at throwing a party.
Yep.
So I was like, let's throw a fucking party.
Right?
Let's do that. So we got a bunch of bands together. And then we had a couple of live podcast panels and stuff like that. And that was the original Third Eye Carnival. We ran it back last year, got to be there in person. It was fantastic. This year, we're doing a minimum of 2, if not 3. These are all designed to be replicated, not scaled. I would love to throw these in as many, shithole blue collar towns as possible. Because that's where the target demo is. We want people that get their hands dirty, that know how to fucking work, that appreciate a blow off steam release, that can come together and hang out, talk, learn that they're not by themselves, see for themselves that they're not by themselves, and just have a fucking blast. So that's what we're going to be doing, not this weekend, but next weekend, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, in Portland, Tennessee. We've got a co-birthday party. It's me and Ryan Christian, Last American Vagabond. We were born a day apart, and we've been threatening to do a co-birthday party for years. And so the stars aligned, and we're doing it like Willie Nelson's birthday, where we have a whole bunch of people that are in the same, sort of media space that also play music. And they're going to do some individual sets, and then we're all going to get up on stage together, jam out, have a good time. And that's Friday night. On Saturday, we're going to do a bunch of live podcasts with just rotating panels of people, including, again, Charlie Robinson from Macroaggressions, my Monday co-host on AM Wakeup, Charles Eyes and Ears. He's going to be there. Teal,
Nice.
my good friend and my co-host on Blunt Force Wisdom, she's going to be there. John Klychek, who wrote School World Order, who's an absolute freaking G. Pasta is going to be cooking the whole time. Pasta's, dude, he can't stop calling me and telling me how stoked he is. He's like, I found Mennonites. Mennonites, and they've got butter. Yeah.
Dude.
Of course they have
that's
butter.
amazing.
Pasta, that's what Mennonites do.
Lily's asking if Sugar's coming.
Dude, she bitches out on fucking everything, man. She was in, and then she was out, and then she was in, and then she was out again. I don't know. I'll be surprised if she shows up. I'll say that.
Lily wants to bring him a pasta and apron. That would be funny. And he'll wear it too.
Pasta is going to bring like 3 of his own aprons.
He's going to be busy.
I can promise you that. But yeah, you can bring him one for sure.
How many people are you expecting? How many, what's the, I know look, it's an 18 acre campground. There's basically no limit to how many people you can house and however many show up. You can camp on site. There's an Airbnb a few minutes, there's a hotel nearby or a motel down the road. You get Airbnbs. Like you said, Nashville's a half hour away if you don't want to stay, locally and you want to stay in the city. There's a lot of choices. And dude, those are some of the fucking coolest people that I've been kind of watching for years. And it's really cool to get everyone together. You didn't even get to Sunday yet, where there's going to be cowboy church, whatever the hell that's going to be, but that's cool.
The property owner is a Nashville session singer songwriter in her own right. She's been a part of the Nashville scene for 40 years or something like that.
That is.
And when she got the property, okay, so let me set the stage here real quick. She's got a big ass barn. It's already wired for sound. There's already a stage built into the barn. There's legitimate green rooms built into the barn. And then going out, the walls lift up, and she's got several rows of pews, handmade wooden pews.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she does something pretty much every Sunday that she calls cowboy church. So if you're inclined and you would like to go to church on Sunday morning, we've got that. We're going to do that. There's a bunch of people that watch the show that are spiritual but not religious. There's a bunch of people that watch the show that would consider themselves agnostic or atheist. I don't care. I really don't. Do you? That's your thing. But we're going to church on Sunday morning, like good little Midwestern boys.
Sure.
we are.
Then you got Spiderland, right?
Yeah. Drew and Marie from who are Spiderland, they helped me put together Third Eye and Pueblo, and Marie has ran all of the logistics for all of the different bands and stuff like that for the last 2 years. They have a fantastic band called Spiderland, SPYDERLAND. go check them out. They're going to be there. Gene Owens and Faithless Town are going to be there. I am trying to get something a little bit closer to where Jesse lives so that I can get him there. We're working on it, man. We're working on it.
Oh, I'm there. Just say it. Let me know, man.
If you know of a spot in Michigan where we could throw this, dude, I would be stoked on it.
Okay.
I would. We just need, a handful of acres or a venue that won't bend us over, and we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll make it happen.
Nice.
Sure.
But yeah, I would love to have you out. I would love to feature you, have you play, all that kind of stuff, dude. Like this is, I want to introduce people to artists that they may not be familiar with. I want to make sure that people have the kind of like entertainment experience that aligns with, trying to separate yourself from the state.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been able to do at the Blowback in Pueblo. We piggyback off of something that Jeff calls the Truth Art Show. So it's all like truth community or conspiracy community oriented artwork. And that's what covers the walls for the entire month. And
that's cool as fuck.
We kick off right after they wind down that event. So we usually get a handful of holdovers that stick around for the music. In Nashville, though, on Saturday, after all of the live podcasts, we're doing comedy night. Comedy night is Brad Binkley from the Propaganda Report, Leonardo Joni, who has been blowing up like crazy lately. And she's savage.
Oh, she's like Lisa Lampanelli, like rawer than Lisa Lampanelli 10 years
without
later.
all of the black dick. Yeah.
Right. They pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a good description. You should tell her that. She's Lisa Lampanelli without the black dick.
Stro.
That's
Oh,
a good
Jesus
line.
Christ.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Sam Tripoli is going to headline. None of that is possible without Tony Arterburn from Wise Wolf Gold and Silver, who sponsored the comedy portion of it. Huge thanks and shouts to Tony, who will also be there. And he's got a couple of different shows in his own right. He does Paratruther. He's on America Unplugged. Occasionally, David Knight will ask him to fill in and be a host for him. Tony's fantastic. And then, Sunday, Cowboy Church. We're going to do a little bit more music, and then we're going to clean up and get the heck out of there.
Reeve said that actually the black dick was the best part of Lampanelli, and that's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
And Lily says that she's way better than Lisa Lampanelli, which is probably also true. Lisa Lampanelli had me laughing a long time.
Is only funny if you're not used to comedians.
Reef, that might be the best conceivable roast on Lisa Lampanelli. That was the best part. Like wherever she is right now, she just turned into dust. Like just in an agonizing nimbus of flame just consumed her like that, and she poof.
No, by the way,
literally roasted.
If you want to find this poster that I'm sharing right here, you can just go to thirdeyecarnival.com. Okay, there's a website. You can actually get a link to tickets. I've got a link to the website and tickets in the description. There's also, Steve has a link tree that's linktr.ee/AM Wakeup Show. I think that's also in the description. I'm kind of ridiculous with that shit. Props to Steve for being one of the few people who's been loud about fucking Rockfin being douchebags. So I appreciate the support on that. So I wanted to give a little shout on that. And we're not live on Rockfin right now because fuck those assholes. They don't get our content anymore. You know, I know that you're doing that. And you're basically doing it the opposite, which is until they take me off, I'll keep doing it to stick it to them. But I don't really feel like giving them my content and not really get anything back is worth it anymore. So I'm really much happier to work with BitChute. That guy Ray is fucking awesome, by the way.
Ray's fantastic.
He's been around a long time. So yes, Rockfin douchebags. That's right. Bad cookies. How vulgar. That's the least of vulgar here. I hear that cat. That cat's going, huh? He's really happy.
My whole thing with Rockfin, and I told them this on Twitter. I've been kicked out of better bars by bigger bouncers. Like, you're going to have to make me leave. And if you go to Rockfin right now and you follow every single channel on the platform, I'm 14 or 15 of the top 20 shows for the entire month.
I'll show you.
It's me, David Knight, Ryan Christian, and maybe Tripoli.
Right. So if I go there and I go to right there.
Oh, and Richard Grove.
Top for the past month. All right. It's AM Wake Ups kind of everywhere. Right. Then you got Sam Tripoli's and Ryan. There's a Duran. And half of these are with Ryan on, or the one with 7 C's where you had him on. That was great. But yeah, there's a Ryan Tuesday and a Teace Wednesday. Oh, there's a third rail. That's
7
nice.
C's is going to be at the carnival too.
Oh, right. He's going to be there. Killer. Yeah. What about Ryan from the Independent Review?
He's up in Beaverton, Oregon, and he's not going to be able to make it. I wish he could. I do.
Sorry, for some reason, any line like that I hear in David Lynch's voice in Twin Peaks. Gotta be up in Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay. Sure.
I used to have to drive through Beaverton all the time because I lived up in Mount Hood, Oregon. And so I'd have to drive through Beaverton and Gresham on the way up to Hood.
So yeah, it was
where I live.
Damn. Who else lives in Oregon? Somebody here lives in Oregon. I know. Well, I know that our friend Rich Slutsky lives down there. Or lives out up there actually for you guys. Who else? There's somebody here who lives either in Oregon, and we got a bunch of Washington Staters for sure. Oz the Boomer hangs out. He lives in Washington State. So yeah, a lot of West Coast. All right, but so Ryan does the Independent Review on AM Wake Up channel, which also features sometimes an INN clip, which is really nice. And I kind of feel like, holy shit, with all these awesome people like T-Lav and Corbett and Whitney and you guys and Wheezy and God, they're so anti-war, and it's like, wow, okay. So that's weekly on Friday mornings. You can check that out on AM Wake Up. Again, so Steve's built like another network similar to INN, and a lot of the people that are part of that network are also going to be featured at Third Eye Carnival if they can be there. So very cool.
And we do, well, I guess when I come back from Nashville, we'll have 19 shows a week, because we picked up Zoe Smith's show, who wrote My Life with the Thrill Kill Medical Cult. We picked her up when I found out that my good buddy Marcus Cage got his Rockfin channel yanked. I was like, bro, I'll put you on mine, like, fuck those guys. Let's keep you on there, and I did the exact same thing with Wheezy, who got his channel yeeted too. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. So as long as I have a channel on there, a handful of my friends are going to be able to stream on there. And so 18, 19 shows a week, 27 different hosts, co-hosts.
Wow.
Almost 70 different shows over the course of a month. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
fucked around and started a whole TV network without even trying.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, 7 days a week you get content. You know, Steve hosts the first 4 days, and he's also on Blunt Force Wisdom. He's on the D3 Debate Show usually, and Slow News Day. All right, so it's like, and then I see him pop into Saturday Night Anarchy, and then he's doing Union of the Unwanted. Like, this guy doesn't sleep. You know, you guys talk a lot about how I'm constantly doing shit. Steve as well is also constantly doing shit, and he's on tons of shows. They run a live Telegram chat on Thursday afternoons, and he pops in on that. And their Telegram channel is just like an open Zoom call, effectively, where everybody's there hanging out, talking shit all the time, and that's a good time. There's over 500 people in there.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like 550 people in the Telegram group. About 6 months ago, because I wasn't running content on Thursday afternoon or evening, I was like, hey, what if we all just jumped in a live call on Telegram and shot the shit? That's turned into almost every day somebody starts a video call, and anywhere from like a half a dozen to 24 people, if not more, show up, bullshit, build community, get to know each other, and, you know, exchange ideas and information. It's fucking killer. It's
awesome.
so awesome. And that really has nothing to do with me. You know, like, it's everybody in the Telegram group that took it upon themselves to be like, hey, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk some shit? Okay, let's go do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the Telegram group in general,
awesome.
it's like, you know, there's a whole bunch of different channels, similar to like almost Discord or a Twitter thread with a whole bunch of cool people posting posting stuff live all the time. I haven't really seen anybody else, and shout out and credit to Shelly Olmstead from the Anartist Collective. She basically built out that whole Telegram channel. And decided to make all these different topic-based channels to sort the whole thing, because there's so many people talking so much stuff. You had to kind of sort it into a thing. Most people talk in the general, but there's definitely stuff about, you know, homesteading and what we're watching on podcasts. I mean, there's a ton of really cool shit in there. I spend a lot of time in that Telegram group, and it's one of the few that I find actually uses Telegram in the way that, you know, that it could be used to really bring people together. Very cool stuff.
We have science and research and entertainment and like a specific spot where you can put resource-based PDFs or videos or anything like that, holistic practices, homesteading, recipes. There's a separate tab for specifically Third Eye Carnival stuff. There's sports ball dude shit.
Yep.
And shoot fighting. Like, because I co-host UFC fight commentary with Wheezy and Corey Hughes. You know, so some of that gets thrown in there. There's a category for history manipulation. Like, it's
awesome.
pretty freaking awesome. It really is. And yeah, over 550 people have joined that particular Telegram community. It's pretty insular, but very welcoming. So if you want to, t.me/AM Wakeup and then add an extra slash and a 1 to it, and that makes it the invite link.
Yep, I dropped it in the chat everywhere, so everybody can just click in. Who does the graphic? Margaret Villa's asking over on Twitter, and that's Zago Brothers, Zago. You know, he actually did my little black and white indie head also, but he does all the he did all the illustrations for the Indie Media Awards this year, and then we had him also do all of the indie the INN members. So very cool stuff. Yeah, man, just good to have you here.
Do really good work, man.
Holy shit, they're incredible. I mean, and he was so good to work with. I mean, you know, I saw that first poster. I'm like, wow, it just kind of kicked an idea. Like, how cool would it be to do that for everyone in the space? Because first of all, you had tons of people that were butthurt that this person was left out or that person was left out. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to cover 150 people and then everybody can basically just shut the fuck up. All right. And we'll cover it. And then we'll feature it here because most of these people have won awards and are worthy of that anyway. All right. So again, if you go to indiemediaawards.substack.com, I hate to, not to toot my own horn here, but all of the honorees and all of their stuff is featured by category, by name, and you can literally drill down into any one of them and find all their links. And there's Zago Image. There's Ryan from the Independent Review also, by the way. He was in the video creator category. I realized we didn't really have anything for people like what Ryan does or what Orf does or guys like that. So I made a category about that and we included them. Ryan's awesome. He shows up on Fridays after the Independent Review live. If you don't check out the AM Wake Up channel, by the way, AM Wake Up does not have a YouTube, or they kind of do, but they don't stream there. And so we
haven't been able to stream there for going on 2 years.
Right.
Like they've left the channel up, but we can't live stream or upload.
It's just torture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, swoosh noise. Exactly.
We tried. What got us was the last time that we had Naomi Wolf on.
Oh boy.
They took down the video on the upload.
Yeah, wow. they don't like Naomi Wolf. We know that for sure.
Yeah. And
Naomi Wolf.
A show with
what a mess.
Gerald Salente and I think John Klychek.
Is that right?
I think who's gonna be at Third Eye, John. But yeah, we had Gerald and John on the same day, and they were like, "Oh no, you don't get to do that.
You don't want to do
way
that.
Way too much salt,
right?" So the other thing that and some of the people here know, I just wanted to share. I've been building with a web designer. We've been trying to figure out what do we do if they turn the lights off on YouTube, or if Rumble pulls the plug, or stuff like Rockfin, what happened. So we've been working on self-hosting and figuring out a solution to self-host, but it's more than just a self-hosting website. What I really wanted to do was rebuild the aggregator website that I had built initially. Look, it's been 5 years since I started. I had a website called Independent Left News. That's why my name is Indie in the first place. Because I had a website called Independent Left News that, it got shut down 2 years ago because the host that ran it closed down when Elon bought Twitter and changed the API rules. So we actually are streaming there right now on indienewsnow.com. But what's also here at the homepage is a aggregate news site that pulls in and links directly to the web page for wherever it's pulling in the articles or videos from. And it's under development. I'm working on bringing in a bunch of Rumble stuff as well, so that you'll be able to click and go right to the Rumble channel and right to the Rumble video and watch it right from there. Like you see it here, just like YouTube or whatever, or Substack. And just like it's an article, you'll be able to go to Rumble. And this just keeps going and going and going and going. And again, I'm bringing in Substacks. I'm bringing in independent websites like Electronic Intifada. I'm bringing in freight waves. So we're bringing in some kind of business stuff that's not necessarily so corporate and commercial, but still gives you good information. And I'm just trying to bring in a lot of content here, kind of like a big fire hose, but so much from anti-corporate, and hopefully anti-democratic and anti-capitalist and anti-duopoly stuff. And that's where I'm still working on filtering down to get to the right mix of who's going to end up featured regularly on this thing.
You should talk to Charlie Robinson.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Okay,
activist
'cause
post.
he just took over activist post and he aggregates a lot of that content.
Yep, he's bringing in a lot more stuff that's more capitalist stuff, and I saw he's bringing in the guy, what's his name, Zero Hedge. I like him, but sometimes he goes a little chuddy for my taste. Look, everyone's got their own stuff that they want to feature. So, and then there's stuff about people in the network here on the site. All right, and all our podcasts and shows and stuff you can see right there. And then, of course, just like Steve has his direct donate links, and this is something I wanted to talk about with you while you're here and let you talk about with our audience here also, let them kind of hear your take, is about direct donate versus platform donations and merch. So notice we kind of put it all in one place so they don't need to go through the platform to support their favorite creator. And they can put Cash App directly in here now. And they can go even use Amazon Pay, and it costs us like nothing. We use Stripe for this. So I'll let you talk about like what kind of bullshit this is, because they're robbing us blind, man, and they're killing us for our own labor.
Okay, so I'm lazy and I smoke a lot of weed. All right, let me preface this with all of that.
Hey, that's my script. That's my cue.
So when I was conceiving AM Wake Up, I was like, who can I rip off? Or sorry, pay homage to. Who can I pay homage to? and immediately, like the two names that popped into my head were the Opie and Anthony radio show, which is arguably the best morning radio show that ever occurred on the planet in the history of always, and then No Agenda with Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak. And so what I've always tried to do with AM Wake Up is do morning radio for people who don't have their head up their ass. You know, yeah, dude, we're definitely going to hit a whole bunch of stories. We're going to give you, top tier analysis and all that kind of shit, but we're also going to fuck around. And we're going to play music and we're going to play jokes and all that kind of stuff. But with No Agenda, they pioneered something called the value for value system. And what that basically means is that if you find value in what we're doing, there's a lot of different ways that you can show that. Mm-hmm. So we do have direct donate links, but it's based on time, talent, and treasure. If you have time on your hand, share the show. If you have talent, make a clip, put it out there, make some artwork, put it out there. If you have treasure, use the direct donate links and send it this way. And that's how the show works. Never going to put anything behind a paywall, never going to have advertisers or sponsors. There's never going to be 6 to 10 minutes of ad reads at the beginning of every show. It's just, if you dig what you're seeing, reciprocate, because wow, we're, putting 16 to 18 hours a day into it.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, platforms like YouTube will take 30% on a super chat or on memberships or whatever. And then you got Rumble with their hand in his pocket, and same thing with Rockfin, and then you had that fluctuating Ray token that got sunset. Everybody got screwed there. I don't want to even talk about it. I wrote so much about it. I'm exhausted. And there's no repercussions. Again, one guy told me, and I have not heard from this person in 3 weeks, that they had over 30,000 Ray tokens in a Coinbase wallet that they were unable to access. But Rockfin, they never told Rockfin to stop putting the coins there. I don't know who earned 30,000. That's a ridiculous amount. Maybe they got a bunch at first. They never cashed out. And now they're basically worthless. So they're like, oh, I'm going to make a big stink out of it. I'm like, well, good luck and lawyer up, I would say. But I don't know how much you're going to have to stand on. I'm there to support you, and I'll give you whatever ammo you need and write whatever you want me to write, basically, to help. But, man, they're going to say they delivered it to the wallet you told them to, and it's sorry, but it's over now. I think they're actually doing a better thing with this USDC for as long as they're doing it, but I don't like that they're taking more of a fee when they're not even supporting a token now. Like, wait, how does that work?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know what their thought process is. The reason they got mad at me like a month or so ago is because I was like, it seems like you're deliberately tanking your platform. Like, what are you talking about? We're just kicking all kinds of people off and making sure nobody comes here or watches.
And that our token is dead. But we're not tanking what? NCAA wrestling. That's their focus. Like, they just decided to be the girlfriend that just stopped taking your texts and then acted like you were the crazy one for being like, what the fuck? That's effectively what it felt like. You know, they just stopped communicating. They stopped giving us monthly statements. They stopped supporting the token. They stopped doing anything. And then they had to basically be browbeaten into any kind of communication. Dude, the shit they did to Ryan the other 2 weeks ago, where he's like, all right, Rockfin, this is fucked up. You guys are knocking channels off. And then they went to some public corpo speak fucking chat GPT version of a tweet to answer Ryan, never tagged him, never addressed the fact that he was doing this. Like, come on, man. That just told me everything I needed to know. You know, and it's sad that to see that anyone that's still involved with them, I hope that just cash out right away and understand that they could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, and I had always used Rockfin as like, you know, this is how I pay child support. This is how I pay my ex-wife's rent.
Right.
Shit like that, you know. As soon as it came in, it went out. So I never really held any of it.
Well, you're rare because most people didn't do that. I mean, just about everyone I talked to said, I'm sitting on at least 100, 400, 500. One guy said 2,800. I don't know how many Miriam is sitting on. She's sitting on a nice, on a decent bucket. But, like, these guys just left everyone fucking holding the bag.
Yep, they sure did. Yeah. No, Texas Slim told me about Bitcoin. Because, you know, I'm skeptical of all cryptocurrency.
Me too.
And Slim was like, hey, man, you were a carpenter, right? Yeah. Okay. When you show up to a job site, do you just have one tool in your bags? No. I bring as many as I think I'm going to need and like 30 more in case I need them. It was like, okay. That's what Bitcoin is. That's what cryptocurrency is. It's another tool that if you need to use it, it's going to come in handy. But if you don't use it, you're probably just throwing money away. And I was like, shit, that makes sense.
Well, that's how I always looked at crypto was, look, if you can't afford to lose every bit of it, don't buy it. It's basically going to the casino as far as I'm concerned. I don't really feel like, you know, and people argue with me and people have been, look, Charlie bought the fucking activist post with Bitcoin. So I'm not 100% right, but I don't see it as a viable investment vehicle for most people unless they have a ton of money and can afford to take the ride. Because most people go up and down with it and it fucking destroys them. That's what I find. So if you've got the income and you have the ability to weather that kind of volatility storm, because Bitcoin and crypto goes up and down left, like crazy. And you can make a ton. I mean, we talked about, I did a whole story about shit coins and all these meme coins that people are buying at super, super cheap, like 0.0000001, and maybe it goes to a penny and they make 100x on their money. And it's like, okay. I mean, they didn't create anything to make all this bank. Good on them for, I guess, gaming the system, but it feels like, now what they say is if you're not in on the inside, it's incredibly difficult to do that because the only people that really make money are the Ponzi guys that buy it up when it first comes out and then sell at the peak and dump out before everyone else gets out.
So I will say this, man. My friend Corey Hughes, who I mentioned earlier, who I co-host UFC Fight Companion with, he's creating something called the Independent Media Token. And the goal for that, it's Solana based because that's where all of the meme coins go. But the goal for it is to get people to use it in order to fund independent media and fund documentaries and make it so like investigative journalists can have a little bit of a cushion in order to go to work and shit like that. And that's something that I can actually get behind because it's a good idea. Like we need that in the independent media. We do.
As long as there's money behind it, like actual value. Yes,
that?
I agree. As long as there's money and actual value behind it, I'm totally with you. The problem is that that sounds a lot like the Ray token, which basically was supporting a platform. You're making sure that this platform is a place where we can stream ad free until they rug pull the whole fucking thing on us. And that's what worries me about, and especially a meme coin based on the Solana chain. That's what I hear when I hear that. It's really funny because our friend Bad Cookies has been talking about Kit Cavello over at Hardlands. He's going to have Kitcoin, $ Kitcoin, and everyone's going to invest in Kitcoin, and he's going to the moon because he's got Kitcoin. And I guess we're now going to have Indiecoin. So there you go. Golden Monarch's head just exploded. Golden Monarch fucking hates crypto like you wouldn't believe. He's on a crusade to expose that crypto is a whole Zionist thing, including Bitcoin. Everybody big on Bitcoin right now are Zionists. All right, so it's funding Zionism.
There's nobody that's more of an anti-Zionist than Corey Hughes. I promise you. Go to bloodyhistory.substack.
We'll take a look
and go ahead and check that out. I promise you. Corey is not a fan.
Oh, I'm not saying that he's a Zionist. I'm saying that Monarch has done these connections where Bitcoin has direct ties to Zionism, and at least now because it's been overtaken by the Michael Saylors and the Larry Finks, where they've built these Bitcoin ETFs, and they basically have dominated the entire market to slice this shit up and dilute it from what it actually had as a purpose, which was freedom of money from the system.
They're going to try to merge Bitcoin with Tether.
Yep.
100%. If you look at the investments that hedge funds have made in Bitcoin, and you look at the investment that Tether has made with the U.S. Treasury, there's no getting around it.
And Lutnick's going to try to make Tether. Lutnick's going to try to make Tether the digital dollar. That's why he's there as Commerce Secretary right now. That's why he put all that money into Rumble, because I think they're going to end up doing the Rockfin model and taking in cash and paying out in Tether. Because Lutnick and Cantor Fitzgerald make money on every dollar because they don't ever have to pay interest on the Tether money. That's the whole fucking game. They are the most valuable company in the world. Oh, there you go. I can't. That's right. Jesse's here. Shit, this is his show.
I'm the human soundboard. No, I'm enjoying this. I'm just hanging out, giving Stro some loving.
It's like shit, dude. Jesse hasn't
some
talked
whiskey
in like a half an hour.
Right? That's what happens. Maybe let's play some Poikonen. All right.
I have, however, smoked like 3 bowls and had some whiskey. I'm having a wonderful time.
All right.
I have a list here, and I don't know if any of these are actual songs. I guess At Home with the Kissingers is, and I want to hear the title track for the show, American Tradition. You have not played that as a song since the first episode that we first did this show 3 years ago. You've done it. You've done it twice as a spoken word, but I was going through some stuff and I made a list of stuff that like you haven't done either before the album came out and since. All right. And then there was also one of my kids asked if you could do Horton Hears a Who, but that's not tonight. But yeah, Blood Badge, the only reading you did was before the album came out. Same thing with Better the Censored You
really?
Know. Yep.
Wow.
And Better the Censored You Know, I thought that was a good one for Steve because I thought he would like that Doja Cat one.
Oh yeah.
Barack Obama, America by Proxy, At Home with the Kissingers, and American Tradition as an acoustic were the 6 that I came up with. Were like,
okay, nice.
we could use that as like a set at some point or mix those in because when I'm going for clip shows and I look for, to do live performances, it's like, I have to go back and pull that one from 2 years ago because I haven't got a new one since episode 3 for Barack Obama.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
How'd that happen?
Well, and because I'm a lunatic that has everything cataloged. I know every song from every episode and whether it was acoustic or spoken or what. Thank you, Cynic, for making me do all that, I guess. All right, so Steve's girl, he's got, and now is she a fiance? I heard you say something about marrying. Is that something new?
Yeah. I'm gonna wed up this lady.
Nice.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
So Steve's got a mandolin on the wall next to him. That recently arrived. And he said he's been practicing and playing it. I heard him string it up a little bit this morning.
Nice.
I don't know if he's got something he wants to play, if he wanted to kind of fuck around a little bit.
Let's get that thing on the highway. Let's see what it can do.
I mean, like, I don't have like any particular song or anything. I just kind of,
well, no, this is the venue for noodling.
Right.
Also, I'm tuned to 432.
I wouldn't expect anything else from you, man. I love it.
I don't, I don't know what you're tuned to, but yeah. Both the mandolin and the guitar. Actually, Jesse, you'll appreciate this. Before I actually pick that up, I have a knockoff Gibson Hummingbird. That's Japanese made from 1972.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, it is a carbon copy of the Gibby Hummingbird.
Damn.
And fucking...
Oh!
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Send that ring out.
It's beautiful. It really is.
Just preed my pants.
I love it, dude. I love it. I'm
awesome.
Still just getting to know it, and the action's a little bit high for my taste.
Yeah.
But there's no way to lower it.
Wow.
Oh my God, Greg! Play the Richmond and North Richmond.
In Petaluma, California. What's that?
Play the Richmond and North Richmond. Greg said. Oliver Anthony song. There you go. I wanted to get it going out. The soda up Jesse's nose.
Oh, I almost choked.
Oh, that was awesome. Greg's so wet right now. That's a little too much info from Greg. But Greg does TMI. That's Greg.
Greg, it is Tuesday.
Okay, so what Richmond from Richmond is Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show. Mm-hmm. It's a total ripoff of that, and I feel like Oliver Anthony just went to Chat GPT and was like, write me a blue collar anthem.
Yep.
And Chat GPT was like, I've been selling my soul. Hamburgers or whatever the fuck, however the song goes.
More like auto prompt anthem-y, am I right? Thank you.
I have to point out that Steve was also the guy that pointed out to everyone that Ian Carroll's initials are IC, which also are the initials for intelligence community, which is fucking hilarious.
I did do that. I did.
Oh God, I could do at least an hour on that show.
He just had like a 2.5 hour conversation with Derek Bros.
Another beat up session. Oh my God, he's a glutton.
It was interesting. It was.
I have not made it through that yet. I have not gotten a chance to. Golden Monarch started getting
Is
into
that the
it
one
this
where
morning.
he was like, Trump's the only president in our life that we've ever seen that wasn't controlled by the deep state?
I think he still thinks that. Like, still.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so
No, he still wants people to think that. There's a big distinction.
that's fair.
He doesn't drink the potions he peddles by any means.
Yeah, he's not going to turn around tomorrow or today and be like, so I talked to Derek Bros and I learned a lot about Peter Thiel and JD Vance.
Yep. Right. Turns out this phone's a trap, guys.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Eric Prince isn't the best guy. Turns out, I don't think that's going to happen. He probably won't go back on Joe Rogan to peddle an Eric Prince phone, but,
It wouldn't shock me. Honestly, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
He might go on with Eric Prince next time.
Plants gotta eat.
You put that dude in front of anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together, and he just looks like a dumbass. And it doesn't matter, like, how you use the karate hands to point at things with your floating head TikTok shit, You
The camera angle always at this, like, let me tell you what's going on.
And then flip the hair. You got to flip the hair. Mm-hmm. It's very.
Who cuts their hair and keeps the cop stash?
There's like a solid 15 minutes of primping and preening to get him just so before he hits the button.
Right. All right. Make it wavy, but not lazy.
T-shirts are definitely
Quaff,
keeping that
but
guy
not too
afloat.
quaff.
But I took care of myself as soon as I woke up.
But yeah, his T-shirts
a
are definitely
t-shirt
paying
on.
that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, you the only business you have is a T-shirt company nobody heard of, and you can afford rent in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Sure.
That's your only job before TikTok. Like, I'm sure you can afford rent now.
As the kids would say, it's giving fed.
Man, I hate to like slap that label on anybody, but holy fuck, that guy's glowing.
Right?
Yep. It ticks all the boxes. It's like if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck.
Yeah.
And goes on podcasts and disparages the correct people it should as a federally planted duck. I mean,
Right.
who am I to call it anything else?
He did walk back the whole David Icke thing, but he was like, I was just a joke.
He hasn't walked back the Whitney
Really?
thing. It's more than I'm
exactly.
I'm
That's
just
the
a better
like.
presenter of Whitney's material than she is really what his argument was.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't read the whole book. I didn't read both books.
Just
I
enough
didn't
to
even
run
read
with.
the articles. I just skimmed them for my own talking points.
By the way, go to unlimitedhangout.com. Pay $5 a month if you can. If you can afford $5 a month for any website, anywhere, even over INN, even over Steve, even over everything, support Whitney at Unlimited Hangout, and you get access to her Telegram group, her private member chat Telegram group. Get into that is all I can tell you. I'm in it. There's less than 100 people in that, and get into that. It's very smart to do that. You learn a lot. They're very cool people also.
That's somebody I want to hear some of my stuff for sure.
Oh, she's heard some of your
I'll
stuff
send
for
Whitney
sure.
some of your stuff, dude. I will. We're buddies.
I just picked up One Nation Under Blackmail Volume 1, which I was proud of Barnes & Noble for having in the true crime section and not just like political opinion, speculation. It was like, no, this shit's real.
All
Like,
right.
good for you, Barnes & Noble.
It was in Barnes and Noble. That's
Yeah.
Wait,
Yep.
what's this? Tell the rest of the story, right? Didn't you
Well,
have to
so originally, no, I was looking in the wrong spot. I thought that it just wasn't in the store because I went and I looked through their whole political everything and couldn't find it. But it said that they had it. Said you could get it and go pick it up within 20 minutes. I'm like, well, surely it's in the building. But yeah, I went up and asked someone, and she looked it up. And she said, no, it's in True Crime. And I go over, and sure as shit, there it is. I'm like,
I thought you said it was in the
good
back.
on you, Barnes and Noble. All right, but no, it was out. It was out. I if I had gone looking through True Crime, I could have found it.
Nice.
They had both Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I was like, you know what?
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
I have a hand-signed copy by Whitney. I got in on this offer again because I am a paid subscriber. I'm on her mailing list. Star had put out when the book first came out, if you want to get a signed copy, reach out to me, and she's going to do like less than 100 of them, but get one and buy a book and buy it through this link, and you can get
That's
one.
awesome.
And sure as shit, it showed up in the mail. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. And then I had an Audible credit. By the way, it's also available as an audiobook via Audible. I mean, I hate giving Amazon money, but if you have credits on Audible, you can get and listen to One Nation Under Blackmail Volumes 1 and 2 both on Audible as well. But yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
Who does the reading for it?
you know what? Let me look it up. It's not Whitney.
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, she
Audible.
doesn't have that kind of time.
No, that's a little bit long. I gotta look. I don't even use the Audible app really, so I have to look it up and be like, where is that? It's just kind of saved in a library. There it is. All right, One Nation Under Blackmail. Where is it here? In my library. Volume 1. Whitney Elise Webb. Where'd it go? Oh no, it's downloading. Okay. Continue. It's got to download the book. Okay. Well, while it's doing that, you want to play a tune, Jesse? I don't know if you want to play anything or read anything or hang out or like whatever, dude. Like we're just kind of here to chill and fucking whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, is my phone dead? I got 2%. I'm gonna see what chat was in the mood for. If I'm just pulling one thing out.
Grace Noble is the narrator for Whitney's book.
Okay.
And
my buddies at Grimerica, Grand Dunlop, and Darren Grimes, they have a website called adultbrain.com or adultbrain.ca, I think, because they're Canadian, and they do book on tape from like stuff that's in the public domain that's over 100 years old.
Wow.
Okay, Greg
And
Dub
it's
saying
really
Radigan
cool.
or we riot. I love it. I'm not going to serenade you on that one though. So yeah, One Nation Under Blackmail between the two volumes is 34 hours of listening time. Holy shit.
That's amazing.
So check that out over on Audible. Yeah, let's see. What else did I have up here? I brought up Conspiracy Synergy. I had Jesse Jett's Bandcamp to come up. Jesse, any update on the album? Any updates on Clandestine Radio? Where are we at?
I'm finally kind of hunkering down into like album mode. I'm ready to get it going. I'm at that point that I'm itching to make the album finally. I just had to switch out of like writing and still making stuff and then like turning that brain off and switching into this. this other productive version. It's taken some doing, but we're there. I'm at that point, the desire to see it out. Honestly, before I can't anymore, before I like lose on my platforms, or Spotify finally listens to my lyrics and kicks me off. Like, I need to hurry and get this fucker slated.
Well, Bandcamp, like, they got taken over, and they've got a new CEO, and they brought Bandcamp Fridays back, by the way, but we don't know what the heck's going to happen with them. So, we got to get that out there. Again, we have our own kind of platform here that we can always publish it to, but we want to get it out and have people hearing it, consuming it, and sharing it, because I think that this one... So, I don't know if Steve's heard really what the concept for Clandestine Radio is. I think he would find it really cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it the last time I was on with you or not, Steve. I found myself with a whole lot of pieces that like didn't fit on other records that were just like random little one-off different genre things. So I want to do, this is going to be kind of a concept of going on like cross-country road trip with stations coming and going. Picking something up, getting, a half of a song or less before it fades out, you lose it. Maybe you get a Cy Oppenheimer political ad. Maybe you get an Amazon commercial, then it cuts over to the next thing. So I can kind of jump around genres. I can do something that's only, a little bit long if I want, which I love the concept, but it's also one of those, like, once I decided that's what I was going to do, actually connecting all the dots the way I want, that do enough like little self-referential callbacks and shit that make it interesting to listen to. I wanted to take my time with it, because the last thing I want is to have it done and out and then be like, oh shit, I should have put this here or put a nod to this or whatever. So I've been really, this is the longest I've been between releases since I started putting out albums. But it's quickly become my Chinese democracy. Only I haven't put any money into it.
Well, it's been 15 months, man. It's been 15 months since Live from the Black Site.
It hurts when you say it like that.
All right, that was the last album, and again, there's so much great stuff on there.
My plan is to have this be out in time to be not the summer album people want, but the one they need.
Hey man, you just line it up and I'm running. So go to jetsyjet.bandcamp.com.
It's all long written. It's just got to get strung together,
recorded,
in a way that I feel like actually.
And the mixer now, hopefully the mixer can be brought into the thing that we hooked you guys up with, and that'll into the new laptop. So hopefully the sound will be something to another level that. It was already great.
Do it like cake, man. Do a B-sides and rarities.
Right.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I just heard something last week that I immediately was like, oh shit, I gotta sample that. That's going on the album. It was on a podcast I was listening to about Dark Souls, and they were talking about like the storyline of the game and something that was kind of up for speculation. And the guy said, as always, there's the truth, and then there's what's more satisfying. And this is more satisfying of a narrative to me. And I was like, oh, that's going on the record. Oh, shit. Turn on the sampler. Holy shit.
Nice.
As always, there's the truth, and there's what's more satisfying of a narrative.
Yeah. The truth is hardly ever satisfying.
Right?
Well, shout out to
unless that's the only thing you're seeking.
Villa for Assembly, $20 on the Ko-fi. Thank you, really. Again, Steve talked a little bit about value for value earlier, and I gotta say, it kind of has inspired what INN does also, and the way that he has conducted that network. And we do the same thing. We don't paywall any of our content. We make everything available for free on a give-as-you-can basis. Okay, we, again, prefer the treasure, just like Steve, but if you've got time and you share, Fred Edward is incredible at doing that, and Lone Star Viz, and shout out to so many people that do share the a show, and it's so important to do that and get people, seeing more people seeing it. There's so many ways to do that, and platforms that we're on. People engage in different ways in different places, and any way you can help, we really appreciate. Villa for Assembly, she's also really big on Instagram. If you go follow her over there, she actually did run for Assembly in California a few years ago, and she's kick-ass.
No, Via for Assembly is fucking badass, dude.
Yep.
She came and brought us food to the Assange rally that we did in LA, and I got to hang out with her a little bit, and her husband, who's a solid fucking gentleman. They're fantastic people, but just hands down great fucking people.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And I've met so many cool people.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, not to beat a dead horse, because again, I know especially our target audiences are, we are not wealthy people, and it's not like there aren't a lot of great places for your money to go, but there are so many reasons to support journalism that you care about, and the people that you recognize getting stories to you, 6 months to a year before they're anywhere else. That's, there's not some magical funding for those people other than the people that care about the work they do. So, all the more reason if you're strapped to just help share and promote their work, because that's, every little bit really helps. So again, Steve, it would have taken me a lot longer to get where I got had I not started listening to you.
Oh, thank you, man.
Cy Oppenheimer's versus Sequoia Moorwhite, also a legendary,
God, that was so great.
a legendary time that most people here have not heard of, so they don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I made it a whopping 12 minutes before I broke character that day.
And that was what, 2020? I think you guys did that, during the 2020 election, or 22.
That was when the grift would have been coming out. So that was 22.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022.
Yep.
It sounds right. Yeah.
God, that was so fun. And bless Misty's heart trying to moderate that and trying to ask Cy the tough questions. Breaking her rule and having a candidate on. Misty, if you're listening, well, thank you for that.
It was a fake candidate, so I guess she doesn't really break a rule.
I would argue that Cy Oppenheimer is more real than most candidates.
Right? No, that's fair. That's fair.
Sequoia Moorwhite's certainly more real than most. He didn't give a fuck. He just told you exactly where his money was coming from.
Yep. Yeah.
That was really great. Was that facts
I'm
on the
gonna have
ground?
to run that character back one of these days, man.
Right?
It's been a long time. It really has.
Oh, and that thumbnail. That thumbnail was just, a patriotic nightmare. It was so good.
Was that on Facts on the Ground? Which show was that on? I don't even remember. Was that on your
I think
show?
it was. No, it was a bitch special, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was a bitch special.
That's great.
Yeah.
We got to get that back up at some point and run that. Maybe on a Friday night.
We might have to air that. Well, I was about to say a
during
Friday
a clip
night.
show.
That seems like a good Friday night feature.
That might work.
Oh man.
So yeah, we got a Radican request. We got a request for Better the Censored, maybe. I don't know what you feel. If you feel like doing anything, it's getting a little later, but whatever you want to do, man. We're here.
Better the Censored seems like a good. I was just thinking the other day that I haven't read that one in a while, and I heard that song on the radio. There are still so many moments around here, especially. There are a few radio stations that engage in some very unique kind of vanilla censorship, where there will be what seemed like a safe enough radio friendly song that they decide to make just even blander. The Maroon 5 song Girls Like You, they play that song minus Cardi B's rap verse.
Come on.
Right? In case you ever found that part just no thank you, but you love Maroon 5 and you need that song minus that. Whatever that Sia song is, Cheap Thrills, that has Sean Paul, they have that minus Sean Paul. It's like, let's just keep the white artist and there's a black feature. We don't need that. Let's do away with that. Perhaps the most egregious of these examples, the one that really made me like fingernails in my steering wheel, happened yesterday when they played Waterfalls by TLC, but they didn't play Left Eye's verse.
What?
Just the sung parts, no rap verse. And like, this is a fucking crime against humanity. This is like, I'm gonna write a goddamn letter to these. This is just, it's too much. It's too much.
They're erasing
at this point, it's just,
hip-hop.
it's musical racism. Like, there's no other way to describe it.
That's all because of Diddy, by the way.
Yeah.
I blame Diddy.
It really is.
But
yeah, so it was a different station that just does different censorship in the early morning hours. Like the new SZA song that interpolates Girl from Ipanema, of all things. They edit the word panties before noon, but after noon, you can say panties. Why not? It's pop radio, have some fun. I didn't know at the time that they did this cutoff. And I was just flipping around on the radio one morning on my way to work, and Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat was on. And they got to the Ooh, She the Devil, and they just cut the word devil. I just went, ooh, she a bad little, she a rebel. And I was like, wait. And I was like, maybe the station cut out. And I give it another minute. No, oh shit. Every time in that song, they would say the word devil. Gets clipped out of it. And
who are these
that,
people?
as you know, was infuriating because of all the things. Like, I remember after 9/11, all of a sudden for a few weeks, any word that wasn't like, in the script of an episode of Pleasantville was getting edited out. You couldn't say coffin, you couldn't say gun, you couldn't say bullet, you couldn't say fire. Like, there were all sorts of weird things. Just for a little while, they were like, let's just really, dumb down anything that's like, I don't even know the right word to describe. But there was just such an overabundance of, I don't know, just kind of whitewashing and defanging language just long enough to kind of prove a point. And to see that happen, especially now, like knowing everything I know about America, like the balls on us to edit the word devil out of a song, like we're protecting someone or doing anyone some kind of favor, like there's any kind of altruistic motivation behind that, is just appalling. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Sorry.
My kids, my daughters are 9, and they listen to Kids Bop, which is like awful to listen to. But so I happened to be driving one to the dentist the other day, and that song came on, and they didn't bleep it out. They didn't bleep it out. They didn't blank it out. They replaced the words. Instead of she's a devil, she said, oh, she's trouble. And instead of bad little bitch, it's she's a bad little one, she a rebel. So at least they have like a clean version, and they're not censoring it. They're at least making it sound like it's a song, and you don't realize that there's something that's missing, and that, it's almost like, we, tongue in cheek, we know we're not supposed to say that, but we're really saying that.
There's an anti-Kids Bop too.
I love
it's
it.
like the inverse of it, and
that's awesome.
the only person I've heard do it is
Adult
R.A.
Spot.
the Rugged Man. R.A. the Rugged Man does a version of "Look What You Made Me Do" by
Holy
Taylor
shit.
Swift.
Oh,
So if you've never heard R.A. the Rugged Man's "Look What You Made Me Do," you have to go look that up after the show.
Jotting that down right now.
Yeah, I'm writing that down.
I'm jotting that down right now.
Oh, dude! I mean, if it was my show, we'd be playing it. Like it is.
Oh, that's
he's
fantastic.
In a fucking bathtub, for it. It's hysterical. It is mind-blowingly hilarious.
Oh my
man.
God.
And it's
Oh,
Look
that's
What
fantastic.
You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift. But it's R.A. the Rugged Man putting his own flow over it. It's, yeah. It's the best. It really is.
That's awesome.
Reef weighing in. R.A. the Rugged Man and Afro are great, or GOAT status. Yep.
Yeah. Dude, he guest lists me every time he comes to California.
Wow. That's sweet.
Yeah. And he's on again. He was on the show. Fuck, I think it was like 2020 when I had him on the show, and he's still like a nice enough human being to be like, oh hey, we're playing San Jose, we're playing Santa Cruz, we're doing this, we're doing that, fucking come through. Like he'll hit me up when he's coming to California. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, you want to do
awesome.
You want to do Better the Censored, real quick?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's not much else to set up for this guy.
Thank you, Lily, by the way, for the Kofi.
One of the few pieces I ever did any kind of research before I finished writing, because I knew that I wanted to name some actual devils, some of the oldest names I could find for demons, and there is something really. I'm not a religious person by any means, but there is something really unique about that part of the piece where several of these names hit you all at once. I read a really interesting article a while back about legalese and about how part of how they structured legal language was kind of modeled after spells and incantations, in that it is meant to whirl about the head of the uninitiated in such a way that they have no fucking clue what's being said, and they feel like they're just listening to a completely different language. And that is really part of the desired effect, to put someone so outside of their element that they can't wrap their brain around what they hear said, and someone has to literally translate words that they understand, but not the way they're put together and what they actually mean anymore. And it's meant to be disorienting, and that's fascinating to me. But so anything that kind of does that, anything that you hear and it has this kind of enthralling effect on you, for lack of a better word, I'm always fascinated by. So maybe one day I should try to write something in legalese. But that's a whole other concept album that I have to lose a decent bit of sanity for. With that
it's all
said,
spell work.
Yeah, right. This is my Doja Cat piece. This is Better the Censored,
Sip from Flesh Vessel.
radio station. Oh, a sacrament from the unholy flesh vessel.
I've never seen anyone drink out of a fleshlight before, Jesse. That's new. It's new.
This is the reserves.
we were gonna get veins, vein stickers to put on the side of it and everything.
Yep. Or just some little tufts of hair, irregular tufts of hair on it.
Every time I'm on the show with Jesse, my goal is to make him do a spit take.
You've succeeded several times, too. I need to reach out to the good folks at Hydroflow and see if we can do my first brand collab. Hey, can you make this thing look a bit more like a shaft? I got about 20 people that would buy one.
Make it look like I can stick my cock in it. Do that. Give me a pink lid.
How soft and labia-esque can you make the opening of
it? Right? Put some dark lips on it. Make it Mexican.
Now we're getting personal. I don't know if the lady would be appreciative.
She's appreciative. She is. She really does.
Speaking of, here's Catstro.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Doja Cat.
if you're listening, this one's for you. Radio station just censored the word devil. Clearly, we're on a different level. I guess you wouldn't notice all the rolling boulders crashing past your shoulders when you're taught to shift your focus lower, scream at all the pebbles. Cheering on the bombers 'cause you can't abide the rebels. But I bet you'll wring your bloody hands when all the dust has settled, when the last little limb is pulled from Gaza's twisted metal. Then you can say how you were led astray, and never once in all your days would you have knowingly supported all the genocide for which you clapped and prayed. But they baited you with unconfirmed blurbs about babies until you were filled with rage. And yet someone told you babies had been starving, bombed, and caged for nearly 80 years in Gaza, and you looked the other way. So regret, but make it fashion. Go and pluck the final petal off a hyacinth on Instagram for every kid they kettled. Every son that Israel imprisoned when they're little, that they tortured for a decade, then surprised with their acquittal. And when they got released and saw their parents and whatever siblings hadn't met the missiles, they stared right through their middle. Their eyes don't seem to focus, and their words are all but dribble, like they're pondering the darkest riddle. That is, how many false flags does it take to make humanity inhuman and uncivil, distorted by the revel? The crooked slant where Israel contorts into America, Biden bathing Bibi in a bloodbath in the bevel. I opened up my feed, and I saw children disassembled. Turned some music on, and heard the station censor devil. Imagine thinking Doja Cat's a threat to moral fabric in the single largest terror cell that ever felled a temple, that ever sparked a cleansing, that ever burned a market, that ever raped with bayonets or carpet-bombed apartments, that ever turned your water off and left you in the darkness, left you doing surgery on children while they're conscious. You sing the devil's praises every time you sing our anthem. You sing a hymn to him that watched us birth a million phantoms. You'll proudly wave his flag, and yet you will not name the devil? Well, clearly we are on a different level. I can give you names, shit, I'll give you several. They say the devil wears a different face for every general, like a composite of the char we brought to fields of emerald and the wail of every childhood we made ephemeral. So who else has left the stain of blood on everything they touch? Who else can starve civilians and they don't so much as blush? Who else has paid for Gaza being flattened into dust? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. That's U.S. What an ugly couple letters. Feeding shit and ignorance to those it chose to tether. From the river to the sea, both are slowly growing redder. For the devil that you know just knows you better. It knows every gut reaction it could ever make you feel. It knows fear is that which wakes you up and gets you on your wheel. It knows just the kind of story that will justify its war. And the script's a rap for World War IV. So just imagine my surprise to give the radio a listen and to hear such pious morals out of Zionists and Christians that they'd take the devil's name and try to clip it from existence while they carry out his bloody business. You would wave a fascist flag, and yet you honor not your Iblis? Name you not Apollyon? Hush you now your witness? Bleed the name of Belial till tongue is rolling listless in the man-made mouth of Mammon as Lamia's whispers listen. As carts are wheeling bodies through the cities that we crushed, and the very air is rotten with decay of all that was, who else would censor devil yet behave as Legion does? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. U.S., but not a unity of souls. More a mass of corporations turning houses into holes, turning people into puppets, turning puppets into mold, turning mold into nutrition bars worth their weight in gold, 'cause they're bombing every bakery and burning every field with phosphorus that never once has wanted for a meal. The devil wears a mask and it delights in the reveal, in that moment where the face is let to peel. We do not love the underdog. We do not cheer the rebels. We lust for all their blood until the dust has finally settled. then pity just ourselves that we were so misled to revel. Proudly wave his flag, and yet we will not name the devil. And that is better the censored, you know.
Great shit, man.
Heck yeah.
Which one day, if I can catch Doja Cat at just the right valley of celebrity unhinged, I might get a retweet out of her. Just gotta, plant the seed when the timing's right. Hey, do you want to piss off your label? Share this.
Yeah,
Right.
Send a discreet email that says Billboard Poison, and it's just this file.
For those
How
in
to
chat,
Kill Your Career by Jesse Jett.
Yep, he said
I almost did it. He almost spit take.
Damn, your timing, man. You really wait. You really just sit on those. Like a sniper. Jesus Christ.
I dropped the link to the song in Bandcamp in chat if you wanted to download it yourself for the low price of name your own price. So you can download it for nothing if you want, but you can drop a couple bucks if you can.
Value for value system. I don't expect you to
value.
put anything into it, but by all means, if you think it's worth a buck.
Hell yeah.
By the way, dude, I love your impression of me. I do. You haven't smoked nearly enough cigarettes. You haven't poured.
Dude, I
nearly
quit 10
enough
years
fucking
ago. It
bullshit
used to be
liquid
worse.
Down your throat.
My wife made me quit when we
What's
bought the
that?
house. It's been 12 years since I smoked cigarettes. I used to smoke about a quarter to a half a pack a day, but no, it's I smoke bong hits all day. So that's.
I think the first time I ever heard you do your Steve voice, you said it's a value for value system, and I did a spit take because that's just what happens.
Yep.
That's the reaction. I was not expecting it, and he pulled that out of nowhere. It's like it was that moment. It was like, am I on the Jerry Springer show? I was like, are they here? Are they about to come out on stage?
Jury.
Is Steve here with us right now?
Jury.
Nice. Greg's referencing the bomb
There's
father.
actually that has nothing to do with anything other than Jerry Springer. But there's a dude who frequently shows up in the Rockfin on AM Wakeup, and he grew up in my hometown. He was like a year or two older than me. We didn't really hang out. He went to a different high school. I played soccer against him a couple of times. Like, I have a vague idea of who he is. He has a vague idea of who I am, but he watches the show. And the only reason I really know this dude is because they tried to scam the Jerry Springer show. Like, they wound up on Jerry, and it was like a big thing about like a stolen jacket or something like that. And then after the show, they got busted for faking it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that like quiz show type of stuff where like you fake Jerry, like reality show just feels so fake anyway. Just so to fake a reality fake. That whole show, Jerry, there you go. Jonas got it. Jerry. Right? One of the OGs.
Dude,
he just
Jerry
died
Springer
recently.
Movie is hilarious if for no other reason than the large black woman that pulls out the fucking whiteboard that talks about like the different blending of races.
Oof.
Where she's like, "Oh no, that's Blackanese."
That made it on
If
to
you don't know
In
what
Living
I'm
Color.
talking about, just look up that scene. I'm sure it's available. I'm sure it is. That movie's out of pocket.
Jerry Springer was such an interesting character study to begin with.
Well, he